What up?
What's up? We are DV, and I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you for tuning in, whoever came in and checked on us to see what we was talking about. I appreciate you being here. I'm grateful to be here. Today is, what is today?
Wednesday.
May what?
Hey, what's going on?
What up?
What's today? May 7th?
May 7th? Yeah. 2025. All right, so.
Let me ask
Go ahead.
a question first. What do you think, as a man? I'm asking the men a question right now. As a man, what do you think women's biggest reason for why we as men choose a woman? What would you think? What do you think they would say? I think they would say something like, for pussy, right?
Right.
For sex. That's the reason why we choose. That's our biggest reason for choosing a woman, right?
Right.
But
Cooking and cleaning, that's all we needed for it.
Right. But as a woman, as a man, I think that that's not true at all. I think we're a little more complex than that. We have a lot more reasons of why we choose a woman, right?
I believe so. I like to anyway.
Yeah, or at least, you know, we choose men. We choose as men. We choose women for all kind of different reasons.
Yeah.
Regardless of what women might think why we choose a woman, I think there's a lot of different reasons. And I think it differs depending on your culture, your age, your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know.
Very true. Your needs and your wants.
Right.
Every man has different requirements for his particular lifestyle.
Right.
You know, put it like this: a dude who's 19 is in college. He's probably not going to need a whole lot out of a woman except for two things, because everything else in his universe is already taken care of. Right. Especially like if he's in college, he's pursuing something, he's got the goal stuff met. You know what I mean? If he's assuming he's healthy and he's got an active social life, he's probably got all those needs met. And assuming he's got parents that are supporting him financially,
right,
he's probably got that needs met. So he doesn't really need. He's not going to get a whole lot out of a chick that can offer much more than, you know, sex and maybe some conversation.
Right.
For a 19-year-old, you know, like or a college kid or something like that, he's not gonna need that much. You know.
Right.
So I would have to ask the question: why would a chick that's well into her 40s or 50s want with a kid that's 19 or 20 or 21? You know, anything in that range? Like, what else? I mean, besides sex, you know what I mean? Like, just a question. I'm not saying that he can't get or she can't get much more out of that. I'm just saying, based on my personal experience in life and what I've seen, I don't see what you would really want. When I was 19, I didn't really want much more than that, you know what I mean? Because that's just where my focus was. It was that narrow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't need a woman who could do much more than that because it wasn't necessary for my needs at the time, you know? Now, I'm 40 now. My needs and requirements have changed because my lifestyle has changed.
Right.
And my mentality. So with that said, nowadays, I'm single now, and I'm not actively looking to date, but if I end up meeting a chick that's in that range where I can meet those requirements with that can at least meet me halfway, dope, you know? But honestly, like now that I'm 40, shit, as long as the chick has a balanced lifestyle and is open to growth and has a growth mindset, I'm pretty much good, and as long as she can cook too. She ain't gotta be a motherfucking professional chef, which would be dope. But I would like a chick that's got a little bit of culture. That I kind of need that in terms of stimulation for myself. Mentally, I need that stimulation, and that usually, if a chick isn't very cultured, I'm gonna get bored. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I grew up moving around. I've been around a lot of different type of people, and I think that's what makes life so dope. You know, culture, different types of vibes, different education, different experiences in life. What do you have to offer besides just the pussy is what I'm saying.
Right.
At this stage of my life. Like,
right.
I'm cool, I love pussy, but it's like, that's not gonna do it for me though. You know, not now.
Right.
So I say that to say that my life has changed to the point where pussy is awesome, but it's not. I'm not moved by it though. I'm not moved by good looks.
It's not really a deciding
It's
factor
not a
for me
deciding
anymore.
factor, you know.
Right.
It's not, you know.
Very necessary.
Yeah, but
but not a
it's
deciding.
It's not a deciding factor for me.
Right.
You know?
But see, but that like so what I'm saying is, yeah, it all depends on what it is you need in life, where you're at in life, your age, so many reasons. Like, okay, let's talk about, for instance, a guy who he has let's say he's 35.
Yeah.
And he has no children.
Mm-hmm.
He's single, not married, never been married.
Yeah.
And he makes a high income.
Right.
But he travels all the time, never in one city at all. A long time. A guy like that, I think he's probably choosing a woman for companionship, if anything, right? Friendship, right?
Right.
Maybe sex, obviously sex. You know, there's gonna be some sex. For sure. That's gonna be a requirement, actually. Little sex. Mm-hmm. But also, I think a big thing he's looking for a woman for is not, he's probably not looking for loyalty necessarily. For something like I'm looking for that, that's a factor in my situation. Someone like me right now, I'm looking for loyalty. But a guy like that, we were just talking about, loyalty, he probably doesn't give too much of a fuck about. He's probably looking for more, like I said, sex, companionship, and someone who's like open and flexible, right? I feel like
meaning what? What do you mean loyalty?
For me, loyalty, well, like I said, everybody has their definitions of loyalty, but for me, loyalty would mean more like someone who is just basically honest and sticking with me. Okay, let's say it like that. You're right, monogamy. But I do mean loyalty. I guess monogamy can be considered loyalty too, though.
It's an aspect of it.
It's an aspect of loyalty.
Yeah.
So yes, monogamy for sure at this point. That's a big one.
So you gotta ask these types of questions.
Right.
Men do this.
Right.
And then, but when you get into the situation, you're like, I thought
that's what I wanted. So that brings another point that we're trying to say. Know what you want first and foremost.
Ask yourself the real questions.
Right.
The real questions.
Right. What does that even mean? Because like he just said, loyalty to me does include monogamy.
Yeah.
But for the next guy,
they're not exclusively the same thing.
No, for the next guy, that may not mean anything. Monogamy may have nothing to do with loyalty for him, right? Someone like I remember I was just talking to him earlier when I was about 20 in my 20s, and I was still involved with the street. My main concern, I'll be honest, is that does this girl have the ability to keep secrets, right? Can she keep whatever she sees that may be illegal or legal to herself?
Like, does she have certain street etiquette?
Exactly. Does she have street etiquette? Does she know what's up? You know?
Yeah.
Does she have street smarts? That was my main concern back then.
Yeah.
But because I'm no longer involved with anything illegal, that's not a concern of mine anymore.
It doesn't matter.
Right? So it differs from person to person. It differs from lifestyle, age, all those things. But these are the things you need to know what you want before you choose a woman, right? Let's keep it pushing for a second.
Sure.
By the way, here's the ocean. If you guys didn't get a chance to see what's going on. Right.
Fucking beautiful, right? Fucking beautiful.
But yeah, man, these are the things that you have to consider. And yeah, I think a lot of men at all age groups don't consider it. You know?
Nah.
We just jump into it for whatever momentary situation it is, but we don't consider the consequences behind all that as well. Because there's consequences behind it for sure.
Or what comes with it, what comes with it. Everything in life, every choice you make is going to come with something. Don't mean it has to be bad. Don't mean it has to necessarily be good either. But it's going to come with something. You made a choice. Every choice you make in life comes with something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to fucking take what comes with it? Do you want to take on what comes with it? You know what I'm saying? Now, he made a choice to get into a romantic relationship some time ago, right?
A very conscious decision to do it, by the way.
And he had to deal with what came with it. You know what I mean? I knew up top, especially this time around in my life, I knew I wasn't quite ready to deal with what came with relationships. I spent a good portion of my life in and out of relationships, long-term relationships, And so I know everything that comes with that. It was cool while I was doing all that, but my life had no room for anything other than just getting it together right now. You know what I mean? I got a daughter still, and I still love, and it's very important to me that I'm active in her life. So it's important for me to maintain my relationship with my daughter and maintain a stable, fucking healthy relationship with just myself and life in general right now. I spent a lot of my younger life kind of chaotic. It was fun. I got a lot of shit done, as a matter of fact, because I've always been an ambitious nigga. But it was chaotic, to say the least, because I didn't have a lot of direction. I loved it. I had fun. But in terms of relationships, there was no real goal, no end goal. I didn't think it was necessary. It didn't make sense to me then. It does now because I don't have time to waste. I didn't even then, but that wasn't the time to be conscious of the time being wasted. I was young. I'm still young. I'm just not the young that I don't care anymore. I'm the kind of young that you waste my time, I'm gonna be super offended. Even in relationships, especially relationships. Because to me, relationships need to be earned and relationships should be honored. And relationships, especially romantic relationships for me, deserve respect. And for me, that's a priority. A lot of people get into relationships and they get it for all these other reasons. I'm not saying they're wrong or right, but I will say they tend to completely forget about the respect factor. They get used to the person they're with and they stop respecting the relationship. They stop respecting the person for whatever reason.
I've seen a lot of that. I mean, I'll be honest. Even in my last situation, I'm pretty sure some of that happened on both sides, right? Not on purpose, but it's just, I'm not really sure why that happened. I think out of comfort, maybe you just get really comfortable and you have a tendency to take each other for granted. Maybe that's what it is,
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Speaking of which, that reminds me of a comment that Kevin Gates said about Duke LeBron's wife. Yeah. I don't think he meant it like that. Literally, the way I interpreted that was that basically he saw like the getting comfortable part. Right, he saw like the flash was out, the thrill was gone. The thrill is gone. Right. I think that's what happened. That's what happens in marriages, apparently, because that's why people probably end up cheating. Divorce rates are so high. Right. I think the thrill goes, and it's, I don't know. I can't speak on that. I've never been married, but I've been in long-term relationships.
Matter of fact, speaking on things, if you have been in a marriage, if you are in a marriage, comment right now in the section. Let us know what your opinion is on this.
Yeah.
Because I really want to know. Like I said, we don't just talk about this just to be talking about this shit. I really want to know what your opinion is on this. So leave some comments right now. If you're married, give us an opinion on what that's like as a married man. If you're a single man who's 20 years old, let me know what that's like for you.
For
and
sure.
your reasons for why you choose women.
Yeah.
Right? Let us know.
Yeah. So, the reason why I'm definitely not in a rush to get into one is because I already know what it's about, and I would like to see something new. Surprise me, because right now, even from the outside looking into other relationships, I'm still not seeing nothing that really is all that inspiring for me to want to get into one.
I feel that.
I just want to, honestly, for me, like I said, what's inspiring to me, that's what you have to ask yourself. What really works for me, where I really need a relationship, I need inspiration, man. I'm an artist. I take inspiration from all around me. And if I'm going to have somebody that's in my life, like on a regular basis, I need it to be inspiring. A little.
Right. I definitely feel like I need to learn something from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to inspire me in some way. Because a lot of times I find myself in a relationship, for hella years, I was finding myself always the one who was inspiring them.
Right.
Giving them something they can learn from.
Right.
But I was like, but you're not giving me anything. I feel like I'm not learning much from you. I'm not feeling inspired by you, And I think that's something now in my life it's a requirement for me. For sure.
So, yeah, inspiration is a big factor for me. That's what keeps me showing up all the time. You know what I mean? That's what makes it new every time.
I also think for the type of men who are looking for the entrepreneurial type men, right? And entrepreneurs, I was considering myself that.
Yeah.
There was a relationship where I almost solely chose a woman, a partner at the time, for a business partner.
Yeah.
I wanted someone who had a mind for business, and who could be my business partner. Really.
Yeah.
So much to where eventually, when the love in our relationship finally stopped, and the sex finally stopped, and then we did get there, guess what? I still kept that relationship for, I'd probably say, about another 6 months to a year. Guess why? For the business. Our business relationship was doing very well still. So I considered keeping it for however long, for a while. That's how important it was for me at that time. The business part of that relationship was so important to me that I kept it longer, even after the love and sex was gone. Now imagine that, right? So another good example that we all choose our relationships for so many different reasons, so many different reasons. And you need to be conscious of that when you choose a relationship as a man, outside of just pussy. Right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm a father as well as other things in life. And that's a big part of my life that I'm not 100% at yet. I haven't even experienced the whole totality of being a father. Like, I'm close to my daughter and I'm there for it. She knows that, but it's like there's other aspects. Like I've never been in a space where I was a completely full-time father. You know what I mean? I've been blessed to have a very supportive relationship with my daughter's mom, and we tried our best to make this shit healthy and make it work, and we do. My daughter's 12 years old, you know, and so it's like that's just one aspect of my life I want to improve on and also grow on, you know?
Yeah.
Like you should always be trying to that. I don't ever get complacent with one thing, one aspect of my life. I'm always trying to improve a different aspect, you know? I'm never going to be perfect. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to grow. So yeah, I'm excited for that part of my life. And I'm actively pursuing that. I'm getting closer and closer to my goals the way I see it, you know, closer how I want it to be. So for that, I say that for me, a woman in my life would have to be someone who definitely probably has a kid too, because we could understand certain aspects of parenthood, like in terms, I know a woman that's got at least one kid has got, I would hope, some sort of like priority, like, you know, some, like she has what's important to her and certain things that aren't as important. She has some things in line, you know, and I know she has some sense of responsibility and some type of ambition, you know. That's important for me because I that's how my life is, you know. I've got these different things going on in my life, and each one is as important to me, but one takes precedent over the other. One is more important than the other, and it has to work a certain way for all to work together. You know what I mean? I have to be strategic about how I move, and that even includes the women that I date. I can't just get with any old woman, you know. It has to make sense. I can't just do it out of loneliness. I'm past that stage in life anyway. You know, and there's no disrespect to anybody that wants to get in a relationship out of loneliness. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging it because you have your own reasons for doing what you do. All I'm saying is do it with some purpose. When you allow someone in your life or in your space, you know, have some purpose. Don't just have them there just to have them there, because that's not gonna go well. I fucking promise. I don't even want to get you long-winded on that. But by experience, I promise you'll end up wasting a lot of time. Had someone people probably did tell me this when I was younger, but I didn't give a fuck. And that's okay too. You're not supposed to. You know, if you're young, you're in your 20s and shit, and even your 30s, and you're just dating just because to date, trying to figure it out, keep figuring it out. Because you're gonna learn more about you. And then you'll get to this stage where you'll say, okay, now I don't have time to waste.
Right.
Now I know what I want, and if it doesn't align, that's okay. See, when I was younger, I thought it wasn't okay because I thought that I didn't know that I'd have a whole lot more times to do this over and over again because it's not that serious. So have fun when you're dating, but don't take life so seriously. Don't take yourself so seriously either. There'll be plenty more breakups. There'll be plenty more heartbreaks. There'll be plenty more, oh, oops, I think she's pregnant. All those.
Listen, I want to say this too. I've seen it before. I've seen guys do it. I've seen women do it. Don't try to avoid a breakup.
No, that's
because guess what?
Crazy.
That's a part of the learning process.
Yeah.
That's part of the life process. Matter of fact,
yeah.
That's like trying to avoid dying.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yep.
One time or another. So It's gonna happen. So don't try to avoid breaking up.
Right.
Breaking up is a part of the process, man. You know, because it's all about the elimination process. It's all about the learning process.
Yep.
So don't try to do that. They happen. Okay. Yeah. So let nature take its course. Let's say it like that.
For sure.
You know. Also, what about the ones who are looking for marriage, the ones who want marriage? What do you want it for? What are you expecting?
What are you looking for in marriage? Why do you even want to get married?
Are you marrying for money?
Yeah.
Are you marrying for love? Are you marrying for sex?
Are you marrying because you think that by marrying her that you'll keep her?
Right.
Or that she can't leave because she still can?
Because I can tell you right now.
And even if she stays,
you can still get divorced.
So
unless you live a place where divorce is illegal.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's like that's a terrible idea.
That's not a way to keep them.
I don't think.
Let me tell you right now, don't marry anybody to keep them.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now.
You know,
and I wouldn't recommend marrying anybody that you think that requires you to be their daddy,
or vice versa.
You mean? Oh yeah. But I mean, as a man though, I'm just saying, don't do that because I see a lot of men do it.
Yeah.
They get married, and they realize later, I'm basically just this woman's dad.
Right.
You know, I'm her provider, and only that. You know, she offers no kind of real benefit to you outside of the sex. You know, don't do that. A lot of men are really just. I'm gonna keep it real. In my opinion, I feel like you're just a glorified trick. A lot of the men I see getting married these days, you're a glorified trick. You're just her benefactor, financial benefactor.
And, you know, you think you married for love, but that may not be the reason why she married you, you know? So I guess what I'm saying is make sure that your guys' reason for getting married is aligned. It's agreed upon as well. Because you don't want to get stuck in that marriage and to find out later we married for so many different reasons.
So it's also okay to just say that you just want to get with someone just because you want to bust a nut.
Right.
Because that's human. You're human, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let nobody make you think you did something wrong for just wanting to do that. But be honest with yourself about it.
Right.
Don't tell the person or tell yourself that I just want somebody to be with. I just don't want to. No. Be honest with yourself. Maybe you just want someone that you can bust a nut with on a frequent basis safely. There's nothing wrong with that, because I don't recommend getting a whole bunch of different sexual partners. Right. It's a dirty game out there, nigga.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But play it safe. Woo. You know, you owe it to yourself to play safe. It's your dick. You only got one.
I want to say it on record. I thank God so much
so I'm fucking around
that
now.
I've been able to dodge all the crazy stuff
Straight
that's out
up.
there.
You know? I honestly thought I was a wild boy in my 20s, nigga, and in my 30s. But the shit I've seen since I moved back to LA, nigga, I'm careful, nigga, and I'm gonna stay that way. Cause like I said, you only got one dick. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking treasure that motherfucker. So I think a lot of dudes think it's they grow up thinking it's cool to be reckless with your dick.
I think a lot of dudes think it makes
everything moving.
I think a lot of men think it makes them more manly.
Exactly.
You know
so that's why they do it.
Yeah. It's so false.
But it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit because, look, bro, the reason why I think that men, naturally, we want to fuck everything. Let's just get that straight. Mm-hmm. I think when I was young, I still do. I still see lots. I mean, there's beautiful women here all day, right? But it doesn't mean just because they're hot, I gotta fuck them. You know what I mean? Just because she said hi to me doesn't mean that it means that I gotta chase her down. I saw a dude doing this one time recently, and it just threw me off. The police it was already big commotion going on downtown. Police was all, you know, had somebody in handcuffs and shit, niggas yelling and shit, and it's busy. But this dude, he comes out his office and sees this chick across the street, and immediately he's like, hey shorty, like, never mind all the commotion. I was like, at first I was thinking, damn, this nigga is locked in.
He's zeroed in on here.
I'm like, I'm not mad at it, but I was just like, and you thought that would work though? I mean, it was hard enough going with all the shit going on. You think she's listening to you? And she wasn't. She didn't hear a fucking word. Right. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I guess he went for it though, you know? But I say that to say this, it just wasn't necessary. Just because you can don't mean you have to. Right. Now, it may take time for some dudes to get to that point that makes sense. Because I think that always made sense for me, even when I was younger. That's why I'm good to this day. You know what I mean?
It's called sexual discipline.
Yeah,
which is a conversation we're gonna have in the next video.
Yeah.
Look out for that tomorrow. We're gonna have a conversation about this sexual discipline as a man.
It's necessary, man. I think a lot of dudes, had they learned that when they were younger, they wouldn't find themselves like, you got some guys that are like pissed off because they got like 25 kids and they really can't afford to fucking have 25 kids, but they got to do what they got to do now, and it makes them bitter, you know. But it's like, nigga, you the one that decided to make 25 kids recklessly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they probably learned somewhere when they were young. That's what men do. Yeah, that's what men do, but we do it responsibly.
Right.
It's called accountability,
exactly.
nigga.
Right.
Somebody probably didn't teach them that. You can't be mad at that.
Well, that's the difference between a man and a boy right there.
That is.
We all have those sexual urges, but
the problem is we learned it from grown men. We didn't, but some niggas learned from grown men. They thought that was some man shit, but he was teaching them little boy shit too.
Boy shit, right. But that is the difference. We both have it. Boy and men, we have the sexual urges, but the difference is a man knows how to control his sexual urges, right? He knows how to keep them balanced.
It's like they say,
he's not ran by his dick.
What they say, with great power comes responsibility.
That part.
With great responsibility. Oh shit. That goddamn Pacific Ocean.
And why did
catch a nigga slipping?
See what we do? We go through all type of shit to do this. But we love it. But anyway, it's about that time, y'all.
Is it already? Goddamn.
Right?
Yeah, man, we're going to have to continue this because I had a lot of fun talking about this. And I really want to know what y'all feel. Holla at us in the comments, man. I really feel like a lot of people, but a lot of men specifically in this arena can really connect with it. You know what I mean? So let us know what you think, man, because we got to figure this shit out, man. We trying to fucking grow.
Right.
We don't have time to keep standing still and being afraid to just be the best we can fucking be, man. You know, out of whatever reason, relationships, money, whatever it is. It's not an excuse, man. It's time to fucking get what you deserve out this life, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Anybody out here, man, if you made a decision, stick to it. Commit to what the fuck you said you're gonna do for yourself. Because it ain't just about you no more. There's people around you that love you that you don't even know want to see you fucking win.
Yeah,
so just do it, man. Do it for yourself, nobody else. Take it one day at a time. Take this day today to love yourself. I love you, man. We are DV, and I love myself. So love yourself for yourself. I fuck with y'all.